Hi, Natalie. Let's take a look at your new set of essays, okay? This is the one about food, traveling thousands of miles. Okay. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated about benefits of eating only locally produced food. Some believe that it can bring a plethora of benefits for local society in terms of economic and ecological aspects. Personally, I partially agree with this viewpoint. Okay, I would have liked a full stop here and a new sentence here personally. This essay will argue about possible positive sides and potential drawbacks of this question, using examples from Oxford University without the and the World Agricultural Union to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay. On the one hand, let's see. Good. So you said that you partially agree. All right, because I was wondering why you said you're going to discuss the positives and the drawbacks. Fine. But it's drawbacks, plural. On the one hand, there is simple evidence of benefits for local economy and society if people prefer to eat locally produced food. The central reason behind this is that growing consumption of local food stimulates farmers to produce in large quantities. Consequently, it leads to better development of the agricultural sector and an increase of the local income. I don't know about the word budget there. For example, recent research by Oxford University showed that every 5% growth of consumption is what you want here. Every 5% growth of local food consumption brings additional 1% growth to the local budget. It must also not be forgotten that local food is usually more fresh and nutritious as it does not need long transportation and preservation. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that if people prefer to eat local food, the local economy would have benefits. Okay, great, benefits, but what about the environment? Remember, look at the task again. What is it asking you to talk about? The environment and economy. In this paragraph, you talked only about the benefits to the environment and society, but society does not equate to environment. I didn't see anything about the environmental benefits here. Okay, so it's like a first red flag that you're not answering all of the question. Moving on. On the other hand, although there is a case for economical aspect, although there is a case for the economical aspects of consuming local food, the ecological impact of extensive farming cannot be overstated. This is largely because we don't call it big-scaled farming. I think it's just large-scale farming. Usually comes down to deforestation, soil erosion, and extra water consumption. For example, an extensive study by the World Agricultural Union showed that production of some aspects of some species of vegetables, namely potato and corn, leads to devastating consequences for local flora and fauna, as it needs huge land areas and water reserves. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that it is important to be conscious about perspectives of the local farming. So what are you trying to tell me here? You're trying to say that if we try to raise all of our food locally, it may be damaging to the environment? That's kind of what I understood. So in other words, you agree with it in terms of economy, but you disagree with this in terms of the environment. That's an interesting perspective. This is kind of what I have understood from what you wrote. Okay. Let's move on, and then I'll tell you my more holistic response to this. From the arguments, plural, and examples given, I believe that consumption of locally grown food is a beneficial trend, although it is crucial to prevent overuse, with an E, of local natural resources. It is predicted that the importance of local farming will increasingly grow in importance. Okay, so I think that is what you're trying to say. Do you know what I would have liked then, Natalie? I would have really liked it if this had been a little more specific. So the way you were specific at the end, I would have wanted here. So rather than saying I partially agree with this viewpoint, I would have liked you to be more specific as well as here. So you could have said, I partially agree with his viewpoint since such a trend is beneficial for the economy, but not necessarily for the environment. That's really all you had to do differently. And then all of this would have made much more sense. But I think it's very interesting the way that you did this. I like it, actually. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's an interesting way to do it, and you raised a good point. So let's take a look now at your letter. Before we do that, though, everything else is fine. You've got your cohesive devices down, not too many of them. You have a range here. You've got on the one hand, consequently, for example, therefore, okay, but you've got sentences without them as well. That's good to have not too many of those, okay? You did that, so that's fine. Same thing in this paragraph. Good vocabulary, things like deforestation, soil erosion. I don't know about this. Yeah, species, I guess, is okay. Actually, I think species is for animals. I think varieties of vegetables perhaps would be better. Or vegetable types. Let's see. Okay, it is fine. It's fine. You did a good job there. Okay, so nice work. Let's take a look at your letter. Albion. Dear Sir, Madam, I am writing to make an apology for my absence from the exam of physics that took place on January 10. Please allow me to elaborate more on this matter. My name is Natalie Elisiva. I am a second-year student of the Computer Science Department, and my student ID is this. Oh boy, where's the case number? Okay, let's move on. I apologize for not being at the physics exam that was held last week. I have to explain that I had a severe flu with a high temperature that did not allow me to be present at the exam. The doctor visited me that day to make prescriptions, and she also gave me a certificate about my physical condition. Taking into consideration the reason for my absence, I would ask you to allow me to resit the exam until the end of the session. I would like to state that I am fully recovered and I am ready to pass the exam in any convenient time. At any convenient time. Yours faithfully. Let's see. Okay, so check out what is a problem here. You didn't give your case number, as I already said, so that means you've only answered half of this bullet, okay? You gave an explanation. Did you talk about possible evidence? Yes, you did. You have evidence. What you didn't do is this. You only half did this as well. It says possible resolutions, plural. See? It's right there. You only gave one. Let me reset the exam. And so that's a problem. You've got now 2 bullets that you only partially fulfilled. So this is going to cost you in terms of task achievement. You have to be really, really careful about this. And when you see these plurals, you have to absolutely make sure that you cover every single one of them. Okay, some of the grammar here was a little not totally fluent, so be careful about that. Like this, for example, she gave me a certificate about my physical condition. That was also a little unnatural. So you want to raise the language level just a little bit. So she visited me that day to give me a prescription and also provided a doctor's certificate regarding my physical status or regarding my physical health. Okay, some of this would have been a little better. On the whole, though, you did a nice job. I especially liked the way you developed the 2 different sides of the task too, so well done there. But you do have to make some of those corrections that we talked about, so go ahead and do that now. Correct these essays, return them to us corrected, add to your error correction list, and write new essays. Okay, we're here, we're waiting for them, so best of luck to you.